In this series, I'll be showing you how I transform my old second-hand rusty shipping container into a secure ventilated storage unit for all our belongings. When I bought this container, I had no idea what would be involved, but wanted to do it right because I've already learned the hard way that the Costa Rican climate and wildlife can destroy things very quickly. The big problems are the container is damaged, it has lots of rust inside and out, no ventilation, and the intense heat created from a metal box baking in the sun and the crazy tropical humidity will ruin everything we leave inside. So my goal is to fix all of these problems. So you would have seen some of this if you've been watching the Jungle Diaries over on our couples channel, but here's a quick recap. After asking around and messaging various people on Facebook, a friend of a friend managed to acquire a container for me, and after flattening an area of land in the bottom corner of our lot with his digger and me marking out where it needed to be positioned, he got his friend to drop it off. I thought it would be carefully lifted off and placed into position with a crane, but this is what happened instead. Whoa! Absolute cowboys. It wasn't the most accurate way to place it, so I had to get inventive to move the container across. After putting my 4x4 car to the ultimate test and snapping a few straps, we eventually got the digger back in and finessed it into position by tugging it with some chains. I then had to lift it off the ground to allow for air to pass underneath and keep the moisture from damaging the container throughout the rainy season. I managed to jack up the corners with a car jack, and after a few attempts and problem solving, I finally got it to where I wanted it and ready to start preparing it to store our belongings. And at this point, for those of you that are new and don't know why we've even bought a container, I'll quickly explain. So, we drove our school bus down from the US to our lot of land in an eco-village in Costa Rica in 2022. We planned to keep it as our home whilst we built a bigger house, but quite quickly realised that the harsh tropical climate and wildlife meant the bus would not survive another rainy season and it needed to be undercover, dry and protected from being swallowed by the jungle. So we now want to build a roof, deck, an external bathroom and kitchen to the bus, and honestly at this point it's become a full-blown house plan. Our friends Kristen and Sia have done something similar with their Airstream, and it's great. The bus was broken into in 2023 and over $5,000 of our belongings were stolen, and we realised it was no longer a secure option to keep our stuff. You may have seen the recent series of me attempting to repair the damage on the bus and eventually ripping everything out, ready to rebuild the interior from scratch. And as part of that process, we had to empty and organise everything we brought down from the US, including all the boxes I stored on the roof, which were becoming overrun with ants and mice and filling with water from the rain. Anyway, so seeing as we desperately needed a more secure place to store everything, and that I had eventually planned to have a workshop area on our lot anyway, we decided, why not get a container? Use it as storage whilst we build the structure for the bus, and then eventually it will be emptied out for me to convert to a workshop. So here we are, the container in place, and 2 weeks to get it ready to store our belongings in a cool, dry and secure way, or I'm risking us losing everything. I have lots to figure out. This is so exciting. So exciting. Right, let's sweep it through. Just remembered I've got a leaf blower. So I'm going to try and start coating this wood now. I don't know if people know much about weather sealing wood, but it's called Laromax. It says it repels water, it's anti-fungi, it takes 3 hours to dry, and it needs 3 coats maybe. I applied a very generous first coat. There's going to be no direct rain or sun getting on it. It is internal. I think it'll be alright. I might potentially have to redo this every year, but we'll see. Just got another second bottle of the wood treatment, so this should give us the 3 coats that we need. Coat 2 done. Today's video is in paid partnership with BetterHelp, convenient online therapy. The roller coaster of parenting, juggling projects, work, and supporting Raya at times has been overwhelming for me. And I felt the pressure to stay strong and be a rock for the family. Men traditionally aren't taught to talk about their feelings, and I've realized that I really need support. BetterHelp provides that support by connecting you with credentialed therapists trained to listen and provide unbiased advice. Therapy can be tough to start, especially if the right therapist isn't in your area, and BetterHelp allows you to have sessions via phone call, video chat, or messaging, whatever suits you best. Just fill out a short questionnaire and get matched, in most cases, in 48 hours. Then you can schedule your sessions at your convenience, and if the first match isn't perfect, you can switch at no additional cost. What I've realized is our mental well-being deserves attention just like our physical health. So if you're considering therapy, I highly recommend BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/FunForLouis or choose FunForLouis during sign up to receive a special discount off your first month of therapy. So if you've been wanting to take that step and get some support, click the link below. Right, let's get back to the video. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my plan. If any of you have experience doing this, let me know if there's a better plan. I got this stuff called red oxide, and it says industrial coating, primer, anti-corrosion, provides a barrier of protection. So basically, my thinking is all of these rust patches here where it's got scraped, it's actually more than I realise. I might need more than that, but there's some deep gouges here, some bits in the ceiling as well. So what I'm thinking is, where the rust is, I'm gonna use my drill with like a little sanding disc, or maybe like the wire brush, sand or kind of scrape it back down to bare metal, paint on some of this red oxide, and then I'm gonna do a full coat of white in here. And then eventually, maybe not before we leave, but I would love to paint the outside as well. Oh, it is quite a bit hotter than the bus. Also, that chemical kind of varnish smell is so intense still, because there's nowhere to air it out. Okay, should we give this a go? I can just test here where this exposed rust is. Let's have a go. Boy, that is great. That's amazing. Trying to figure out whether it's worth trying to hammer out some of these dents. I just don't think it's worth it. This will just mash up. Oh, right. I am definitely worried about the heat in here. It's like a very, very hot sauna. I don't know if we can store everything in there with it at this heat. Okay, I guess I'm gonna start on this end. I grabbed a stool from the bus because a lot of the rust is down low and I don't want to spend hours just bending over her. My back getting old. So, I did some tests with this drill bit, with this wire brush. I found another one that's for my grinder, which I think is going to be faster potentially. And then my friend Eric lent me some of these sanding pads for the grinder, which also can be really good. So I'm just going to do a quick test on these and see how effective they are, because that might be the most efficient solution. This is the sanding disc with the least wear. They're both used, but let's see how we get on with it. Safety first. Probably should really have gloves on, but wow. Oh, that is so good. Check this out. This is working like a dream. Bad news is, it's dawned on me, this is going to be multiple hours. There's a lot of rust. What I am going to do, just to be even safer, is I'm going to get some thick gloves on, because it just takes one little slip. I don't know if it'd take my finger off, but it would take all my skin off my hands, so I'm going to go and get some gloves. I am fully equipped now. Feeling to get into some of these little crevices, I'm going to use the wire brush. I think because of the size of these grinder discs, and they're not meant for these battery powered grinders, I'm burning through batteries in like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna have to go and borrow my friend's plug-in grinder, I think. I think this is gonna save the day. Oh yeah. pause there, that's my first little stint. Didn't make a ton of progress. This wall is definitely the worst. Of all of the walls, this is by far the rustiest. I mean, this one here is pretty bad as well, but yeah, I mean, I've only done probably a third of the wall, and that probably took me an hour of work. So, and I guess I was faffing with the battery powered thing. Maybe I could bang that out in 45 minutes. Let's say an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's gonna be a minimum of 6 hours, potentially 7, just to do the inside. And then look on the outside. I don't think it's anywhere near as bad on the outside because I think it's been repaired more recently. Still pretty bad. I think we're looking at least 10 hours in total of grinding. Oh my goodness. And then look at how dusty the floor is. I'm definitely gonna buy a mask for my next stint because I'm just breathing in like the paint that's coming off and metal dust, which just probably isn't great for my lungs. So, since being here last, I have gone and purchased my own plug-in grinder. This one is a little bit more powerful. I think the last one I was using for my friend Eric was a 700 watt grinder. This is a 950 watt. And then I bought these fresh sanding discs. Let's give this a go. I found this handle so helpful last time. So I'm gonna put that in there. Nice. I do have a little mask as well. I didn't want to buy the full ventilation ones. They're so expensive, but I think this one will help. Okay. Okay, nice, nice. Get the mask on. This has got to do something. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Wow, it's got dark quickly. Wait, this fresh disc is unbelievable. It's so good. Whoa, it's dusty. Okay, I need to go in like 5 minutes. This particular section of the container is super dented. I guess this is where things are falling against or whatever. But the problem I'm having with this huge disc is getting in all the crevices. So just quickly, I'm gonna do a test. I've got a wire brush attachment for the grinder that I'm gonna quickly throw on and just see if that gets in between. Let's give this a go. Includes a very brief, whoa, a freaking spaceman. Well, that can, okay, oh, okay. Oh, I think my torch just died. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, that concludes a very brief visit. Literally perfect timing. Just getting a call from Raya. Hello? Hello?
Hey, coming back now?
Yeah, literally just packing up. I'll see you in 5 minutes. The other day at the hardware store, I spent like an hour trying to figure out what can I use from the hardware store to create good ventilation in here. There's like amazing companies in the US and Canada that do all these like specifically designed for container solutions for ventilation. Don't have that luxury out here, so I'm gonna have to wing it. This is what I found. So I found a 4-inch diameter bathroom ventilation fan. Now, there were 5-inch ones, which seem to be better flow, like what they call it. There's a way of measuring how much volume of air that they can pump out. The reason I got this was because I could find a 4-inch hole saw. Now, this is my idea. I don't know quite how this is gonna go, but I'm thinking right at the top, I saw out a hole, put that through, because obviously it's not flat. You know, containers have these undulating corrugations. The width of this should allow for the difference. Right, then what I'm thinking for the outside to stop rain getting in and stuff, is I should be able to just pop this over and I'll seal that really well, and that'll allow there to be no rain getting in. You see that? That just fits over there. And I'm thinking of making some kind of bug mesh or something that I can put in there to make sure no bugs are getting in when the fan isn't on. Honestly, it'd be pretty difficult because there is this little plastic film. So I think this is a good solution. Some of you that know more about this might think this is hilarious, but I think this is a good solution. And then obviously if you're drawing air out of the container, there needs to be an inlet. So I haven't quite thought this through, but I think the inlet will just be a simple one, and I'll drill a hole again, pop this through, maybe seal this from the inside, and then that'll be the inlet. And I think I'll do that on the opposite lower corner. So it's sucking air up from underneath, colder air, and then blowing it out the top. I kind of want to just do it, you know? It's very dusty in here. I guess where I was thinking was, I actually think it'd be more aesthetically pleasing to do it on the inside corrugation, because then once I've pushed it through, the cover will kind of end up looking like that, and we can kind of fill it in with expansion foam. Otherwise it's going to be like that, and it's going to be like poking out. It's going to look weirder, I think. And that looks kind of more legit. Yeah, so the other side, if it's coming out there, I think that's fine. This is pretty high stakes if I get this wrong. And I think worst case, I've got some metal plates and I can kind of weld it closed again. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it, guys. I know this is kind of crazy, but I'm just gonna do it. Now, I was trying to look at this hole saw. It says it's for metal, bi-metal hole saw. Yeah, it does. Wow, 38mm thick metal. I don't know whether it's steel, but I guess we'll give this a go. I mean, it's probably gonna blunt on it like crazy. Yeah, is it meant for just aluminium? Aluminium, I don't really say. Okay. Oh, this is definitely the biggest hole saw I've ever used. Okay, feel a little bit safer now. Ooh. Bent. What? It's bent. What the heck? Somehow I've messed up already. Firstly, I've full on bent this drill bit. And secondly, I forgot that I was looking from the inside and was like, oh yeah, I want to go on the inner corrugation from the inside, which is the outer corrugation from the outside. But then I've drilled into the inner corrugation on the outside, if that makes any sense. So I've drilled this hole in the wrong place. I'm hoping I can feel that. I think I'm going to go for here now. And I think that'll actually work better for the saw as well, the hole saw, because trying to go in from here, it's not catching equally, and it's creating a lot of force, which bent this. So let's try this again. Whoa. Oh, this is not going well. I think I'm gonna have to get plug-in drill now. Hopefully I haven't damaged this. It was proper smoking. I also think I bent that drill bit. I'm starting to think this hole saw is not designed for steel. Holy moly, it's bent again. I'm going for one final attempt. I'm gonna try and get a lot of speed up and then go and see if that helps. Hopefully it doesn't bend the bit again. If this, get away from me. If this doesn't work, I need to get a more powerful drill, basically. Right, I have a cunning idea. I'm gonna drive my car down, park it here so I can really get my shoulder into it. Right, car's in place. I've climbed up into the car. Let's see if we can get some proper power behind this now. That came out again. Wow, guys, I am barely taking the paint off. It's mental. That is so mental. I am back with a seriously upgraded drill. This is an 1100 watt plugged in power drill, and I am ready to get through this. I also bought cutting oil. This keeps it lubricated so it doesn't like start smoking and kind of dull the sharpness of the blades. And I got some earplugs as well because it's pretty loud. Come on, I'm really hoping this works. Really hoping this works. Okay, let's freaking do this, man. Freaking do this. just getting nowhere. I don't really know what to do other than to keep trying, but I feel like maybe let's set a timer for if I can't really make any progress in 15 minutes, then I'm gonna give up and move on to a different task. Oh man. I'm basically just enlarging the drill hole bigger and bigger. I wonder whether we could just start cutting that. Maybe that's the move. Okay, I've been watching some videos about how other people do this. I think I'm gonna have to give up on the drilling approach because, I don't know if you can see from back there, but look at how useless this has been. I've been going at this for a few minutes straight and it's just like basically just taking the paint off. I don't know what these shipping containers are made of, but it's so strong. This is the new plan. I'm gonna get my angle grinder. I bought some cutting discs. I'm gonna mark out where I need cut. I'm gonna cut like slices as if it's like a pizza. And then I'm just gonna keep cutting slices and slices so it's basically loads of intersecting diameter lines going across the circle. And then I think I can start like knocking those out maybe. Okay, so. All right, now I'm normally not the most cautious, but I've seen some horror stories of cutting discs flying off and snapping and stuff. So I'm gonna be super safe today and go for a full face mask. This is going through like butter. This is literally going through like butter. Why can't the hole saw do this? Nice. Okay, let's keep going. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh yeah. Obviously this is the other way around. It's going to poke out, but that is looking lovely. Oh, that's nice and snug. With a bit of sealant around that, that is going to be fantastic. Okay, right. So cutting is done. Oh, turns out I didn't need that hole saw. It's a good lesson to learn though. You cannot hole saw through a container easily anyway. Before I wire up the fan to test it, I want to weld this little hole shut that I accidentally drilled, this little drill hole here, this one here. So I'm gonna grab my welder. I haven't used my welder in ages, but if I can remember how to use it, that'd be handy. It's just stored back there in that box. So let me jump down and grab it. Let's go. Okay, hey, let's give it a go. All right, let's give this a little go. Oi! Yeah, baby. All right. Well, I am happy with that. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Let's wire up the fan now, and yeah, super excited. Super excited. It's gonna be amazing. Got less than an hour left today. I didn't get a lot done, but the things I did get done were critical, and it's given me a lot of encouragement. Most of the work that needs to be done is just pure grunt work, but this involves some serious problem solving, and I think we solved the problem. This is the moment of truth. I'm gonna wire in. I have a plug socket here. Just put it into there. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. I'm just gonna wire this in quickly and then test the fan. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Got a feeling it can be quite loud because bathroom fans typically are loud. And maybe long term I'll get a roof mounted fan that is more quiet like the one we've got in the bus in the UK. It's very fiddly, but I've just wired this in. moment of truth. So, yeah, let's put it in. Okay, so we should slide through here. Now, I definitely might neaten up the edge, try and sand it back. But now, I'm very happy with that. Okay, we are outside. I'm feeling a full-blown blast of air coming out. I'm also thinking this is definitely not round. Look, we need to do a better cut, but it's wedged for now. And then I think this, which side is it? This side? This should go over this like that, so no rain can get in. I think a huge, we call them Jubilee clips. I don't know what they're called in America. Hose clamp, huge hose clamp around here. Sealant, that should be pretty good. Gonna give the Patreons a little update. Update weeks ahead of the vlogs for Patreons out there. Okay, a little update for all of the Patreon supporters, weeks ahead of the vlogs as usual. I have pretty successfully installed a ventilation fan. This is a bathroom ventilation fan from the other side. It's kind of wired in. I need to cut the hole a bit more circular, but it's wedged in there. And to keep the rain out, I'm gonna hose clamp this on. I think this is for some kind of laundry vent, but it's going to work perfectly. And then I'll put some sealant around there. I think that's going to work great. Just so I can get a better idea of how far off I am. That's pretty good there. And then give this a little clean up. I put the sanding disc on the battery powered one because I'm not doing a ton, I'm just cleaning it up. So let's see if we can do it. Although the sun is setting, and actually it's setting most spectacularly. Check out this sunset. Now technically I was supposed to have finished work, but I'm just so close. It just needs a little bit more adjusting, so I'm just gonna quickly do it. Oh, that might be it. I think that's it. Right, I'm gonna poke the fan through from the other side. Oh, that might be it. That actually might be it. Okay. Okay, that's it. That's it for tonight. Good job. Even though I've got the face mask on, there's so much dust getting my eyes, I had to stop. It's so painful. It's like shards of metal dust and paint, and so bad. So bad. Oh.